Hello everyone, this is Tactical BC, and I also want to say that I have been working on something other than my 1912 film for a little bit. In Rec Room, I am also trying to make a Titanic game. Now, I will admit that none of the things here are made by me, and I feel guilty of not making my own original creations, but I do plan to credit as many creators as I possibly can into this game. So don't worry about it being stolen inventions. I will be crediting every person that has helped um, contribute to this technically. Um, so yeah, it's just a Titanic game. We'll be starting from Southampton, working our way up until April 15th, 1912, when the stern of the Titanic has dipped underwater. Um, so starting with the bridge, you can see some of the telegraphs, as well as the navigation helm and a few other telegraphs. And in here we have the wheelhouse. Again, there's another helm. And then over here we have the officers' quarters for chief officer, first officer, and then third officer. I can't fully remember, and then fifth officer. I can't fully remember which. And then sixth officer would have been over here. I can't remember if this was second officer Lightollers or if Lightoller was situated over there somewhere. And then, of course, we can't forget the wireless Marconi room. This one actually has a button that you can use to send Morse code in it. Yep, that's a demonstration. Of course, we have the bunk beds and the quiet room, which has yet to be developed. This is the area for the captain's quarters as well as the cabin for fourth officer Boxhall. And this would have been a generator, so we can just ignore this. Here we have the boat deck grand staircase. Again, not a lot of detail, still under construction. And we have the gymnasium. We also have every lifeboat ranging from lifeboat 1 to lifeboat 16, which is somewhere down there. It's that boat all the way at the end. We also have the compass tower, which they would have used for navigation. Of course, all the funnels have like the ventilation shafts attached to them. Here we have the engineer's deck. Fun fact, this is just a gaping hole that leads to the bottom of the ship. I will be adding stuff to that because I do plan to add an engine room, and this is where the aft grand staircase would be. So there you go. And of course the second class staircase, and then everything else, which is the stern and the bow. I forgot to add the crow's nest. That's pretty frivolous to me, honestly, though. But we're gonna go down to A deck. Here we have the stairs that would lead to the bridge from A deck to B deck, and then this is where the foremost A deck cabins would be. And then, of course, we have the A deck grand staircase, and that's literally just it. And then we also have the engineer's thing and the second class staircase. And then we have B deck, which is the deck that is the most being worked on, and by most I mean least because we just started working on it. All there is just the B deck grand staircase, the forecastle deck, and the poop deck. That's just it. We also have this little Carpathia model. I actually plan to do a perspective kind of game where you could be a wireless operator or an officer on the Carpathia, and the Carpathia would be like way, way out over the horizon, and you wouldn't even see them. So there you go. I should also probably say that there's a lobby. Now you may be wondering also, why is there a random Titanic model here? I think it's kind of obvious when I say that this is being used for reference. So yeah, that's really all. And then, oh, I passed the lobby. The lobby is a recreation of the grand staircase. That's the costume dummy that I'm. That's the costume dummy that I'm wearing. That's weird. Yeah, so as you can probably tell, there are rolls attached to these costume dummies. I'm sorry, clipboard. Yeah, so each unique costume dummy gets their own item. For persons and Marconi officers, they get clipboards. For officers and the captain, you get flintlocks and megaphones. So this is going to be for captain officers. This is for standard crew of the ship, and this is going to be hired crew. So you know, things like musicians and chefs, and this is going to be for the engineers and stokers. And over here is just going to be miscellaneous stuff. So it's going to be like spectator, which will allow you to fly, but it will make you invisible. And sorry, it will make you invisible. You won't be able to talk to anyone because I'm mainly doing spectate outfits just because, again, only for spectating. It's only for free cam. I don't want people like pissing off. I don't want people pissing off others by just flying around and, I don't know, potentially microphone spamming or whatever. But yeah, that's all there really is. There are a few assets for the ship, like this cargo hatch, these railings, the crow's nest, these stairs, these windows and doors, and etc. Um, so for credits, where credit is due, these telegraphs and the helms and the navigation compasses are made by Catsplay 123, as well as these doors. These beds, I forgot who they were made by. My friend wants to join me. I'll invite him as soon as I'm done. Fun fact though, this Marconi device was actually made by me, but my Marconi device, the only part of this that was actually made by me was here. I actually made this myself. And I made it an invention. But I decided that my Marconi device was a little too detailed, so I just grabbed someone else's and it was crappy. I know I could have just made it myself, but these two were made by someone else, and then this Marconi roll was also made by someone else. In fact, the person who made this is different from the person who made this. And then there's this thing. So yeah, and then yeah, that's really all I have to do. Again, a lot of these things I have not made, like these lifeboats, these davits, the funnels, the ventilation, the collapsible lifeboats. I actually modeled the collapsible lifeboats myself. I just didn't actually make them myself. As well as this Titanic reference model and the Carpathia.
Are you guys
Carpathia
talking
model was
about
actually
theories
made
right
myself. No, I'm making a video for YouTube. So yeah, again, a lot of these
Making
were
a
not made
YouTube
by
video?
me, so yeah, that's really the end of the video, and goodbye.